Former Assistant Director of the FBI and CBS News security analyst Ron Hosko is in Washington. So, Ron, what sort of evidence are investigators looking for in order to determine a motive for the attack?
Elaine, I think they're certainly going to be scrubbing every bit of transactional information they can get their hands on, going from internet browsing history to social media posting and viewing to text messages, phone calls, financial transactions over the last days, weeks, months, scrubbing, as we've heard from the sheriff, video evidence from the hotel and certainly other places in Las Vegas to see where he's been traveling to, who he's touched, who he's talked to, his friends, his family, his former coworkers, to try to put together a comprehensive picture and understand his descent into madness.
We know that the shooter had at least 16 guns, including rifles, in his hotel room. I'm wondering, Ron, how difficult would it be to acquire that many weapons? How long might it take?
Elaine, it's not difficult at all. If you are not a prohibited possessor, like you have a felony record that would block you at a gun shop or a sporting goods store from buying a gun, you can walk in there and buy 5 guns and perhaps buy 10 guns if you're not giving off other signs that trigger the gun shop to alert the police for some reason. You're a sportsman, you're a hunter, you have a reason for the guns, and there's nothing that prohibits you on the instant background check. It could be that you walk away with 3 or 4 guns in a purchase, go down the block and purchase 3 or 4 more. There's nothing that's blocking you from doing that if you're not prohibited. A big flaw in that system is, frankly, the lack of mental health information that would populate the system with additional people who should be prohibited. And I think that's a gap in the system that Congress ought to be taking a hard look at.
Well, Las Vegas officials said ammonium nitrate was found inside Paddock's car. What does that suggest to you?
Well, that suggests a potentially much bigger and darker plot. Ammonium nitrate is half of the ANFO mix that Tim McVeigh used to bomb the Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City and kill, dozens and dozens of innocents. If in fact it was a significant amount of ANFO, if they're looking for, of ammonium nitrate, which is potentially explosive in and of itself, I'm sure they're looking for other sketches, diagrams, search histories of bomb making to see if there was a bigger plot that involved explosives.
Since this gunman was firing on a contained crowd from such a high vantage point, are there any security precautions short of a full Secret Service style sweep of the area that could have prevented the attack?
Yeah, I don't know where we take it from here. Is it, the expectation that a hotel is running, somehow connecting to a police database and trying to get criminal histories on their patrons, on people who are, coming to stay for a couple of days or for a couple of hours? Do we start to fly drones in the area of a concert venue like this that gives law enforcement better coverage or higher altitude coverage in some way? So much of this, in my mind, is dependent on intelligence. Do you have the intelligence that should push additional resources to a particular venue? Because the more you do, the more costly it is. And at the end of the day, there's going to have to be some sort of cost-benefit analysis. Certainly the benefit is keeping people alive, but at what expense? How many security guards and precautions do I take? How do I load that venue up? It gets very expensive very quickly.
All right. Ron Hosko for us in Washington. Ron, thank you.
You're welcome.